Let's go. Ellis Cinema, created by she, her, continued by he, him. How we doing out there? Good, great, grand, and fuck. Wonderful. All right. Been a minute, hasn't it? Slowing down. Want to know why? Because fuck you. I can't keep giving you my life to entertain you for the 0 cents. As you see on your screen, your dial. However, you are joining us today. Dune, the Denis Villeneuve Dune, which I fucking loved, mate. Even though it seemed to rub quite a few people the wrong way, I wasn't one of them. You feel me? And I know that it's been a while since this one's come out, but I had to do something other than what I've been doing. Like, I love horror films. I do, okay? I just can't. I can't only watch that shit. I can't only talk about that shit, says the guy who's about to do a box set of 7 awful horror films. But you'll have to stay tuned for that one. So anyway, Dune. Written and directed by Denis Villeneuve. Also written by John Spates and Eric Roth. And as we know, if you listen to my Dune podcast from, I don't even fucking know at this point, couple months, for all I know, based on the novel written by Frank Herbert. I still have not read said novels. Would like to, but as I just mentioned, time. There's not enough time to have a day job that works you 40 to 45 and then be obligated to watch a shit. You should have seen the fucking box that I just got from a couple of distributors. Holy shit, mate. Holy shit. It was a lot. So anyway, I decided, you know what? Fuck all that noise. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about Dune, because it was like back to back oldies. And obviously I love movies. I don't mind watching old movies, but fuck. There's, you got to switch it up every now and then. And I think I was getting to the point there for a brief moment, and I don't know if I'll ever recover, if we're being honest, but I was just getting to a point there where, boy, the fun of watching movies was almost non-existent, my audience members. It was getting to the point where I was just like, I'm not having fun doing it anymore. I'm not having fun watching movies anymore. And Dune might have actually kind of like, I don't know, revitalized me. Because I remember when I watched Dune, I had a stack of stuff that I still needed to do. And I was like, you know what? I just need to watch something that didn't cost 7 cents to make, and, whatever. But so here we are. An American epic science fiction film directed by Denis Villeneuve, and obviously the follow-up to David Lynch's 1984 film, which I know it caught a lot of flack, but I didn't mind it. I didn't mind David Lynch's. I thought it was one of those that's kind of ahead of its time, but I think the only problem, I think why, and, It is what it is. I like this new one better because it's not as fucking bleak. And it is. I mean, it is a dark it is a dark world that Frank Herbert has created. But there's something about David Lynch's film that's just like there's no redeeming qualities. You know what I'm saying? I mean from a moralistic or feeling standpoint. I don't mean like the effects and whatnot. 'Cause they did what they could with what they had back then, and everybody knows that Dune supposedly is the set of novels that can't be made into a movie. And I'm here to tell you, I think I'm on board with Denis Villeneuve taking the reins. You had who starred in this? Timothy Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Josh Brolin, Stellan Skarsgård, Dave Bautista, and we can't forget old what's-her-face, old mean lady face, Zendaya, is that her name? Zendaya? Sorry, I'm old as fuck. Javier Bardem, Sharon Duncan Brewster, Chen Chang, David Dasmalkian. Fuck, I should know his name. I've mentioned him on my show before. Zendaya, Charlotte Rampling, Babs Olusan, take a drink. Olusan, take a drink. Ola Sanmokin. You should probably take a drink for that too. Benjamin Clementine. Yeah. So huge cast. Something that I saw that people were upset about. They weren't told in the trailers that it was going to be a 2-parter or even a 3-parter. That's what you were bitching about. That's what some of you were bitching about, is that when you watched the trailer, it didn't let you know that there was going to be another installment. Get fucked, you people. I tell you, it never ceases to amaze me to just, I swear to God, you just shit on something simply because it exists. Whereas me, who doesn't watch trailers and doesn't let, I knew that I was going to see Dune. I don't need to see a fucking trailer for it. You know, like Denis Villeneuve can do no wrong. Name one bad film. You can't. So when I saw part 1 come up right in the opening credits there, I freaked. I was so happy. I was like, oh, here we go. We're going to do an epic, because I haven't read the book, so who am I? Piece of shit, right? I was like, well, from what I've gathered from the things that I've read and the people that I've talked to, this shouldn't be a 1-part movie. This shouldn't be a 1-part adaptation. In fact, from the sounds of it, it's an impossibility to embody everything the collection of Dune books is in one film. Now, let me give you an example. Marvel stuff. A lot of you comic book nerds, I read comics too, but I'm not a fucking asshole like you are. That's good. Throw your audience to the wolves. You get mad. Oh, well, Iron Man didn't do that, and Captain Marvel wasn't. Shut up. You're talking. You want thousands of issues put into a 2-hour movie? What's wrong with you? It is an impossibility. Impossible. Oh, well, the Iron Man. Did you know there's like 47 Iron Men? There's like, the Invincible Iron Man, the Incredible Iron Man. You know that, right? And just because your, favorite Iron Man didn't make it into the film, or he didn't say all the things that your favorite Iron Man, you bitch. You bitch. You complain. So when I see something like this, how are you upset? Don't you want to see the longest version or the longest adaptation or the complete vision of someone else's adaptation? Don't you want to see that? Because I know I do. I've said this on the podcast before. I don't even know why we do director's cuts and shit anymore. That just should be the version that we see. I'm tired of test audiences not particularly like. Shut up. What are you talking? You are literally curbing someone's art. I don't get it. I don't know why you would want to do that. curbing the artist's vision. Well, it may not sell as much. I get that this game is about making money, okay? Everything is about making money. I get it. But you keep mouthing off, and we're not going to have anything. So I don't know who this is directed towards, but I know there was a handful of people on the internet that were like, distribute part 2? I wish I would have known. That's false advertising. False advertising? False advertising. The trailer didn't let you know that there was going to be 2 parts, and it's false advertising? Jesus Christ. Fuck, man. But, good news. It's already been greenlit, and they're going to work on it. I think they should, because I'm going to make a bold statement right here. I think in terms of science fiction epics, one more time for the people in back, in terms of science fiction epics, I think Denis Villeneuve tiptoed towards perfection. Oh, I know. Sacrilege, huh? We're all supposed to hate on everything. Us critics, we're all supposed to shit on it. Nope, not happening. I liked everything about this film. Now, I thought some of the pacing, if I were to nitpick because something exists, if I want to relate to you, the pacing was the only thing that I was kind of like, we could have maybe sharpened some things out there. But then the more I think, because I'm a fence rider, piece of garbage, hypocrite, nobody likes me. Can you make superb pacing in a film for an epic like this? I don't know if you can. But I do remember the first time I watched it. I've watched it like 3 times now. I've probably fallen asleep to it even more. But I recall thinking, I was like, man, it feels like some of this stuff is rushed. But there's 4 to 6 books of the Dune series? 4 to 6? Should have looked it up beforehand, but I don't do that sort of thing. 4 to 6 books. I ask you to take a look at Lord of the Rings. They didn't fit everything in Lord of the Rings or the Hobbits, or the Lord of the Ring and the Hobbit franchises. They didn't fit everything in from the books. Close, but they didn't fit everything in. So is that maybe why the pacing kind of suffered a little bit? And saying suffered doesn't even feel right, because like I said, this tiptoed towards a masterpiece for me. In terms of what this movie is supposed to be, I think finally we can say this is a movie that can be made, and the person making it should be Denis Villeneuve. I will go on record and say I can take or leave high cheekbone Timothy Chalamet. That's what I call him behind closed doors, is Timothy Chalamet, and I don't even, if you ask me why, I don't know. But Timothy Chalamet, I can take her like, great, you got high cheekbones and you got one of those faces. Oh, look at me, I'm a Gucci model. Like, and here's the thing, I thought he did great. I thought he did really good. To be fair, I became a fan. As much as I want to hate on Chalamet, he's a good actor. That's all there is to it. I watched that Call Me by Your Name. Yeah, he's pretty good. Now I know there's 20% of the people that listen to this show, I never watched that movie. Well, you probably also voted for Trump. So actually, I'm fucking positive that some of you did. So, and I don't know how I feel about having y'all as listeners. To be quite fair, you can take that anti-vaccine shit somewhere else. Well, the science, I don't care. I don't care. It's for other people. It's not for you. Okay? But, I could just see people. We're not talking about Call Me by Your. Is it Call Me Your Name? Call Me by Your Name? Whatever. The one with the peach fucking. I like that. That was right before Armie Hammer, or that's right when Armie Hammer was about to explode in his career, and then it turns out that he likes to eat women. Those, let's be clear, ladies and gentlemen, those findings are unfounded. Okay? I don't internet as much as I should. In fact, I will acknowledge that I don't internet as much as I should, and I have my own podcast. I just don't. Like, y'all can do that. You know what I'm saying? I watched the movie. What did it feel to me? Da-da-da-da. Army Hammers, I have no idea what he did. It sounded like it was pretty bad for women, and he vanished. So, I'll take the masses at their words for it. Most of the time, the majority's right. I just don't like how they go about saying that they're right. It's like anything else. You can vote for Trump, just don't broadcast it. Like, I'm chill. Like, I don't even care that you did. Just don't tell me why you did, and don't try to convince me that this is, I can't. So the Trumpers and the Army Hammer supporters, just keep that shit to yourself, because I don't care. I have to work. That's my response to anything. Well, how do you feel about abortion? I need to work. That's how I feel about it. I need to go to work. And you're bothering me. I don't care. It should be if you listen to this podcast on the reg, it should be obvious where I stand on most things. And if you are confused, well, I got news for you. Be confused. Move on to something else. Move on to something. Listen to the show, by all means. But in terms of what I believe or where I stand on it, just move on to something else. Go ridicule someone else. Unless you're, I've had a couple DMs. Did you mean ... And sometimes I answer them. Most of the time I don't, because I think y'all you're crazy. You think that just because the internet exists that you need to be on it. Or, the Instagram or the Facebook or the Twitter, that you need to constantly be interacting with people. No, I don't do that. I appreciate you taking the time. Just so we're clear. Just so we're clear, I know we're not talking about Dune anymore, but just so we're clear, I don't mind if you reach good or ill. I do not mind if you talk shit to me on the internet. I don't mind. That's fine. And in fact, on some level, I'm like, oh well, I provoked a thought of some sort. Okay, for better or for worse, and I'm willing to admit that I'm wrong most of the time. But keep sending the DMs, hate or love. I'm just not going to answer them. But hate or love, if you keep sending the DMs, I'll keep doing the show. I know. In fact, this show could run on hate. I'm all right with that. Keep giving me the hate, and I'll keep going. What are some of the? Because I didn't want to spend too long on Dune. I just wanted to tell you that I fucking loved it, and I wanted it to be up on my podcast, telling people that I loved it. Because, can you really talk about all things Dune in 20 minutes to a half hour? No, you fucking can't. No, you can't. So I'm not even going to try. But what I did want to bring up was Greg Frazier, the DP, director of photography. God damn. Did I fucking love... it's no Deakins, but we were close. I love some of the tones, some of the colors that were set, or that you saw within this film. And again, pretty bleak. How do you make bleak interesting? Well, Mr. Frazier found a way. And I'm here for it. And I hope he signs on to do the next one. Because I know my boy, who knocked the fucking score out of the park that I kid you not, for like the last 2 months, I've listened to 3 things. Joyner Lucas and Hans Zimmer's soundtrack for No Time to Die and Dune. That's really all I've been playing for like 2 months. Joyner, House Atreides, and fucking No Time to Die. You know what? Just so we're clear, because I doubt very seriously I'll do a podcast on it. Maybe I should. I don't know. Fuck it. We'll find out. Fuck around and find out, as my boy Hunter would say. Maybe I'll do. I loved the new James Bond. Here is why that is significant. I am not a fan of the James Bond films. So, you know what? Maybe I should do one, because I disliked most of the other. Casino Royale's fine. Spectre's okay. But I don't know. I need a martini and I'm going to shoot people. I don't know. I just don't. I like the real shit. Like, people struggling and stuff. maybe when I get older, I'm a realist. Maybe 20 years from now, I'll be like, James Bond is the man. Why didn't I like these movies? Now I get it. Now I'm an old white man who likes to fancy himself a martini every now and then. Maybe I will then. But until then, just wasn't a huge James Bond fan, and I fucking loved the new one. And sometimes I wonder if Hans Zimmer is so good at what he does that it alters how I really feel about the film. But I'm too stupid to be able to differentiate. But I know that sometimes when a Hans Zimmer score hits, man, do I lose myself in his shit. I think he's the greatest he's the greatest everything. Like the greatest composer of all the times. Of all the times, I tell you. Production designed by Patrice Vernet. Great. Not only great, but how many different set designs, costume designs that were brought into the fold. Because keep in mind, we got these factions all across the space, all across these worlds, right? So distinct between all of them. So distinct. And not an eyesore like perhaps Lynch's 84. So, and they spent the money where they needed to spend the money. And clearly, I mean, if you get that Arrow box set, it'll tell you all the tales. But, you know, they lost money real early on, or they ran out of money real early on into that production. So, you know, maybe that's why some of the sets and other costume designs failed. But from top to bottom, I like this film, and I liked how we set up for the sequel. I from a production standpoint, I really don't think anyone could complain for something like this. Again, this is a series of books and a sci-fi epic for the ages. You know what I'm saying? And in terms of world building, and, you know, this is the kickoff before the game, for lack of a better phrase, what would you change? Seriously, to the haters, what would you change? Especially since we have more coming. Well, I know some of you are like, well, I didn't know it was going to be a number 2 or 3. Well, grow up. And for the others that were just kind of like, well, I wonder how they're going to do this. Aren't you excited? Aren't you excited for what we're going to see? I fucking know I am. Like, I mean, you didn't even see Zendaya, but fucking Zendaya, what's her name? What's Tom Holland's co-star's name again? I don't know. The reason sometimes people don't register for me because if I think that you'd be shitty to talk to in real life, I just kind of nothing you. Yeah, this is a real good tact, Sean. Hey, look, I have issues, but she doesn't look like she'd be very fun to talk to, so I don't remember her like the rest of the world does. Oh, she's so sexy. Well, all right, if you say so. I think she looks kind of mean. But anyway, she's a great actress, just so we're clear. But she's not even in it and all that much. And when she was brought into it, perfectly fit in. In fact, like I got excited. Oh, we get to see more of this relationship unfold instead of seeing it shoehorned like it was in the David Lynch one, where it's just like, oh, wait, they're together now? Okay. Wait a minute, they love each other? Okay. Got it. I don't think any part of this really was forced. Again, like with the pacing, I lean towards forgiving it because there's so much that you have to fit in. And let's just say they go 3 movies. You, the audience, you know, if you're a fan of the series of the books, you know they're not going to fit everything from those 4 to 6 books in those 3 movies, right? And if you don't, I'm telling you right now, temper your expectations. It's not going to happen, okay? And chances are, for some of you, your favorite parts of the books ain't going to make it in either. So just relax and let's see how this plays out, because from where I sit, as a cinephile, as a movie fan, as an entertainment fan, Aren't you the least bit happy for Denis Villeneuve pulling off something that they said couldn't be done? I know I am. And even if you think that he didn't pull it off, are you going to tell me that this isn't better than the David Lynch one? You're a liar. You are a liar if you say the David Lynch one is better. And this is coming from someone who I liked the David Lynch one. I did. And I said that on the show. Whenever it was. 5 years ago, 5 months, who knows? Time is not passing, or time is passing at a rate that it's too much anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It's too much. I feel like I blink and it's fucking, my alarm goes off, I blink, and then I'm going to bed again. So, I don't know what to tell you other than I think you need to see this film, and you need to go back to the theater. I was crushed that this fell on a work week where I think I was amidst, 12 or 13 straight. Nobody cares about your woes. But I didn't get a chance to see this. I watched it on HBO Max, and I gotta tell you, I was fucking furious with myself. One, I live in a shit town, so there's no IMAX within a fucking 50-mile radius. So, I mean, that's thing number one, because this is a film you need to see in the IMAX. It does. So the reason why I'm talking about go to the theater is when part 2 comes out, just so we can get an awesome part 3, go to the theater and see this. Don't stay home and stream it. Can you stream sitcoms? Yes. Can you stream comedies? Yes. Can you stream half of a catalog of dramas? Yeah. But not for something like this. This is meant to be seen big. You know, I watched Venom at home the other night, and while it's not a particularly great movie, Tom Hardy till I die, but while it's not a particularly great movie, ashamed that I didn't see it in the theater. Ashamed. But, I got, do I watch one of those films and have, a half hour left over that I'm not driving, when you're working sun up to sundown like me? Yeah. Sometimes you got to make those calls, bud. Sometimes you got, and this is coming from the guy who almost drove to the theater to see French Dispatch. So I wouldn't see Venom or No Time to Die or fucking Dune in the theater, but I almost went and saw Wes Anderson's French Dispatch because I'm a fucking crazy person. That's why. And I had a little bit more time when French Dispatch came out, but newsflash, didn't happen. So I keep tap dancing for the masses. Keep tap dancing for y'all. I'm the only one in the history of everything, in the history of anything, that can say how much they like Dune without saying anything at all. You heard it here first. Top to bottom, I thought it was a great production, ladies and gentlemen. I did. And I remember getting very bent out of shape about some of the reasoning behind not liking this film. I don't understand. I probably never will. I thought top to bottom, this film played, and this is coming from someone that doesn't even like the main character. He's fine. He's fine. He's a good actor. But, all right, another high cheekboned white person. I get it. You look good, man. You look good. But I thought he did pretty good. Pretty good. And to the point of his character, way less robotic than Kyle MacLachlan. Way less robotic. Yeah. Oscar Isaac was great. Josh Brolin, Stellan Skarsgård was fucking eerie as shit. It held a gun to my head. Do I like his character? The character more. Well, hold on. What is that character's name? Because I can't keep track. I'm not good at names and what houses they belong to and shit. Hold on a second. Hold on now. Hold on. Baron Vladimir Harkonnen. I kind of go back and forth which one I liked more, though. The Lynch Harkonnen or the Villanueva Harkonnen. Because one, I mean, there's clearly a significant difference. One is, the David Lynch's Baron is super over the top, and I think there's a controlled madness to Villanueva's Baron. So I don't know. You be the judge. But everybody across the goddamn board, I tell you, across the goddamn board did a good job, and I can't wait to see the second one. And I'll be there in the theater, Dennis. You have my word. You have my word. But it was a weird time for movies, wasn't it? The last couple of years been weird. Ellis Cinema. ELLISSINEMA. Ellis Cinema Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Haven't done that hook in a while. So many shows around the corner, it's ridiculous. The visuals, the scope, the overall execution. God damn the visuals. God damn the scope. God damn the overall execution by Villanueva. Off the charts. Off the charts. Ellis Cinema, we gone.